Hey, what's up, guys? Ryan and Tiffany here. Tiffany is doinking around on her cell phone because she does not.
Doinking?
Doinking.
Did you say I'm doinking?
Updating her Tinder profile, whatever
Pretty
it is.
Sure you're the doinker in the relationship.
No. What's up, guys? Canic Bill. What's up? Oh, yeah, that was definitely me in the chat. Shane, Will is in Saudi Arabia right now, which is pretty cool. Tom, Vince, Shane, Big Papa. You must be a big fan of the legendary Notorious B.I.G.
Okay, I was getting that posted.
Okay, and you got it?
Yeah, I said to Ryan before we started, I should go upstairs and quickly throw on some more makeup because I'm a little raggedy today.
Oh, I was looking. So Canic Bill, I was like, oh, he's got a different logo as his profile thing. It's a picture of me and him.
Oh, how cute.
Unfortunately, Canic Bill, you do not have the rights to use my image. I'm just teasing.
I haven't even started my chat yet. That's how behind I am.
Yeah.
What's your login and password?
The normal login and password.
Oh my gosh. Happy Monday.
Crow, what's up? Brandon, good to see you. We'll let Tiffany get logged in and then we'll kind of start. While we're doing that, so I'm going to show you guys. This is not like the title of today's video.
This is not clickbait.
This is not clickbait. This is the card from the FBI agent that randomly came to my house. I'm not showing you their name or any of their information. Randomly came to my house today, and as this guy knocked on the door and he flipped up his badge and he's like, I'm with the FBI, I was like, shit.
Ryan's
like, listen, in my mind, I was like, okay, what crimes have I committed recently? And I'm like going through stuff and I'm like, okay, none of it's that bad, right? Like nothing is severe enough for the FBI to be here. But I'm not going to share the story yet. We're going to share it towards the end, so don't let me forget. But it is pretty wild on why he was here, so we'll do that. Let me get logged in here.
I need you to hack in here. Thanks, Ryan. So, crazy week, crazy
pretty
weekend.
Crazy. Yeah, so it sounds like Elon Musk did not buy Twitter, right? He just...
Yeah, he accepted the offer. He threw out an offer to buy it, and they weren't, I mean,
they accepted it, but it didn't close.
No, they didn't close yet.
Yeah, it's just like buying or selling a house. It still has to go through, like, the analysis and all that stuff, and the terms and conditions that close.
That's kind of crazy.
You think it's good? You think it's bad? This is what happens when you have FU money. You're like, oh yeah, you're gonna you're gonna censor people and you're gonna do all this stuff. I'll just buy your entire company. Yeah. I'll take it from public and I'll make it private, and then I'll just do whatever I want with it.
Yeah, I think it's good because I think that his motive is good. He wants free speech to be free speech. He doesn't want it to be moderated. He doesn't think that, because I don't agree with you, I'm going to find some reason to, block you off the platform, which I think is
I think it's
important.
Awesome.
I think it's an important step. I think that it's a good step. I think that more people need to stand up because what's difficult about what these companies are doing, like even us, we hate it, but we use Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to put your money
because
where your mouth is.
If you put your foot down, then you stop making money.
And or you put your foot down and you're like, crap, now I don't have, Netflix. Now, like, what am I going to watch? Like, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy. Like, I'm like, yay, boycotting Disney because I don't watch Disney. So I don't go to Disney parks. So I'm like, yay, boycotting Disney. No big deal. But when it's something that I use and like, it's hard.
I don't like Facebook.
No,
I don't use it. And you guys all know that. I'm never on there. But
actually,
we use it for business.
No, I do post on my personal page. I post quite a bit. And then I post in my design groups and I post for my family and stuff. So guilty.
Yeah. You're a traitor.
I'm a traitor.
You have no backbone, Tiffany, no backbone. All right, so let's talk about today's first story. But first, let's recap and paint the picture of what happened that caused the epic disaster in my neighborhood yesterday. So I had a very sore back. I was laying upstairs and I'm watching some movie or something. And then all of a sudden I just hear, Dad, screaming at top of the lungs. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? So I jump up. I run downstairs.
Wait, were you naked?
No, I was had sweats on and shirt and stuff. I run downstairs and like a neighbor was in my house, and I was like, why are you in my house?
Right.
And then Paisley's like, Dad, run outside. I go into my backyard, and literally every neighbor is in my backyard.
That's like right around our house, right?
Yeah, like our surrounding like 5 houses or whatever. And I'm like, what is happening? And they said, a dog attacked your son, Jackson, the 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So turns out what happened is Jack's, like all the neighborhood kids, they play at our house, right? Because we prefer for them to play at our house instead of everywhere else. Yeah. So they're playing in the backyard. They like had this pool. They had a water slide.
Pool and a tarp. It wasn't a water slide. We're ghetto. We had a tarp.
Oh, to a redneck, that is a water slide.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It was a
they had a water slide.
Tarp.
Now this like husky, we have had huge problems with this husky ever since we moved in. Like I was one time driving to take the boys to the bus stop early in the morning, and this husky was loose and it just started attacking my golf cart.
Yeah.
So we just drove away. It like attacked my dog and bit my dog.
Yeah.
It tried to bite me 6 months ago or so.
Yeah.
But as this dog came around the corner, Paisley yelled to all the neighborhood kids, quick, get in the pool.
Because she thought them being in this little blow-up
like inflatable pool
would stop the dog. I mean, quick thinking.
Smart.
Yeah, but Jackson's the littlest one, and he was like on that side of the yard, so he was like, I got to run to the, the back door, right? So he tried to run to like get in the house, and the dog just
chased after him,
grabbed
jumped
his
up,
arm,
grabbed his
yanked
arm
him to the ground, and just was on top of him.
And just started ripping him apart. Is it the pictures up here? So it was a pretty aggressive bite. So Jackson's crying. Yeah. All the neighbors are freaked out, scared. Thank God my neighbor next to us, his name is Adam.
Yeah.
Adam came out like a bat out of hell and like really aggressively kind of approached the dog, and that was enough to scare the dog and get him off of Jax.
Yeah. So super crazy, super scary, right? As a parent, so you're, and then they caught the dog, right? And he was
so now this is when I come outside, right? The dad, who's the dog owner, is out there. The teenager is holding the dog, and the dog is like standing straight up, okay?
Like ready, still like,
and just growling at me, like super vicious, wants to attack. And I'm like, dude, look at your dog right now. It is still aggressively like growling at me. So then we call animal control. Oh no, I called 911, and 911 was like, we don't come to dog bites.
Right.
And I said, well, that's like, okay. Like again, this is the multiple times I've called 911 in an emergency, and they're like, oh, we can't help you with this. The guy that posted on our Facebook group said, Ryan, I'm going to effing kill you and your family. He posted this on our Tampa Carry Facebook page. So I was like, oh, that's not good. So I dialed 911 and talked to a detective, and the detective's like, yeah, we can't really help with this. What?
No, he was like, I'm going to cut you to pieces or something.
Well, no, because I'm a smart ass, and I wanted to get a lot of evidence. So I said, how are you going to do it, man? Because I'm thinking, you're posting this all from your personal profile.
Right.
Okay, like we're going to get a bunch of evidence. Police are going to find you, and you're going to get arrested, and this will be over. So I said, how are you going to kill my family? And he like listed all this gruesome stuff he was going to do, and it was crazy. So I screenshotted it all, thought I was doing the right thing. And the detective's like,
you should stop the pictures.
You should call Facebook and see if Facebook can tell you where this guy is located. And I was like, do you not understand how the internet works?
Yeah.
Facebook does not have a phone number to call, okay? That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So craziness.
So we got animal control out today. They did a report.
I took him to the hospital. He got checked out. He got on penicillin or amoxicillin right away to stop any infection. So he's okay. And you guys gotta know, like Jax is a total badass.
Yeah.
Like he was shaken up, no doubt, right? Because I mean the kid's like 50 pounds soaking wet. He was thrown around. He was shaken up. But then like a little later we're like, you're not scared of dogs, right? And he's like, no, I'm not scared. It was so cute. But then today when he's playing in the garage, because the husky lives a few doors down and they leave him outside, the husky starts howling, right? It's like, arr! And Jax is just like, I hear the husky. He's like looking around like, what should I do? He's like, should I close the garage door? and that kind of sucks because he plays outside like all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks that he's scared, but he's definitely like he's a tough kid.
Yeah.
He's not traumatized, like.
Yeah,
He was shaken up, but.
So right after the incident's over, obviously every neighbor in the neighborhood is like out here, and it came out that this dog has actually bit other people in the neighborhood and they just didn't report it. Mm-hmm. So the big question, the neighbors are like, Ryan, if you would have seen this happening,
right,
what would you have done?
Like if this played out while you were right there and you had, probably they're asking you had your firearm on you. Yeah?
Right.
Okay.
Would I have shot the dog? And the answer is...
It would depend, though. You can't say until you're there because it happens so fast. I think actually pulling your gun out would be slower than just. I think you would jump on the dog and be like, "Stop!" Like, you know what I mean? I don't think because he's got your kid in his hand.
Oh no, yeah, the kid in its mouth. So if I was wearing my jeans, I had my pocket knife. I would definitely prison shank this dog, right? I would start prison shaking it. Yeah.
Just like.
So when you just go like this, like that, as hard as you can, right in the heart.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of practice.
There's a joke there.
I'm very, very experienced.
That replay.
Just turn that into a meme. That'll be our first NFT, guys. There you go, man. So, all right, so let's see what some of the comments say. Should, in a situation like that, is pulling out the gun and shooting the dog, is that the right thing to do? Is it the wrong thing to do? Put it in the comments.
You also have to keep in mind that we have a yard full of kids.
Yeah, like there was probably 7 kids, roughly.
I mean, so you have to also take in consideration, like, how that could be dangerous. We are in a neighborhood, how traumatic that could be for, people seeing that.
So Michelle says the dog needs to be leashed or fenced in.
Well,
Michelle,
yes.
That dog is so strong that the children cannot put it on a leash. They can't even take it outside anymore because the dog just pulls them down the street.
And the father left like a year ago, so it's just the mom and a grandmother. So there's nobody that can take care of this dog's like a year and a half old. There's no one that can handle this dog, and they haven't disciplined it. So this dog is totally crazy wild, and now they can't even walk it because they can't control it. If it sees a dog or something, right, it just gets away. So now they don't even walk it. They just leave it in the backyard. It's hot outside, this dog. And if anybody that knows the husky breed, they love to run. They love to escape. They love to chase things, right? So this dog is just super bored, pent up, no leader of the pack, nobody to be dominant over him and teach him, like, you can't do that. Yeah,
so we, the animal control guy that came was awesome. And he basically, this is clearly a major issue, right? This isn't like an accident. This wasn't like a little nip. This was like a severe attack, which again, he bit a full adult jogger recently, a couple months ago, I guess, just to say.
Well, and when Kingston ran up, like Kingston will run up to the dog and he'll be like, ruff, 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 like a dog. But this dog just grabbed him by the head right away, flipped him over. Kingston's like, arr, 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 and then he came back all bloody and a couple puncture wounds. And I was like, well,
don't start anything.
Don't start nothing.
You're
you're all of 12 pounds here. What are you running up on a husky for? But,
So the animal control, it basically told the owners, like, the best bet here because we're going to, every time this dog escapes, we're going to report it.
Yeah.
Every neighbor in the neighborhood is going to report this dog every time now.
And they give a citation, and they said, like, it gets higher the more citations you get. But
so he's encouraging them to surrender the dog, which apparently they're making a decision by tomorrow morning, so we'll see what happens.
So we're hoping that they're just going to surrender the dog because they are neighbors. They're going through some stuff. We feel bad, I know.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because, again, I think this happens when people buy a dog breed that they don't understand.
Exactly.
And that they don't, like, I've had big dogs like this,
and they have
chows.
3 little kids. I'm sure they love the dog, but I don't think they anticipated how much work a dog like this can be. So.
Okay, so for me, in this situation, if I would have had my gun back there.
Eddie says kids equals no shooting. And, Eddie, I am with you.
Yeah. I don't think a gun would be legal. However, if the dog wouldn't get off of him, I would kill that dog, and I just risk going to jail.
Yes, so that's what I was going to say. So when the neighbor...
Like if I couldn't choke the dog out, if I couldn't punch it, like Jax was punching it and the dog wouldn't let go,
Because he's so little.
When I was a kid, we had it was a wolf husky mix. Came down from a farm that was like up on top of the mountain, and it like started eating my black lab. Like it would not let go of his throat. Like it was bad.
Yeah, that's not.
And I remember my dad punching it. My dad was hitting this wolf with a pipe.
No,
and it would not let go. So like the only option is to kill it.
Yeah. Yes. So Todd is saying the dog would be put down if they surrender it. Exactly. If they were to surrender it, it's going to animal control. They're going to do some tests. They're going to see how aggressive the dog is. And right away, yes, they will see that the dog is very aggressive.
Yeah, this dog, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but this is not a dog that should be out and about with people.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story of what exactly happened, but this is not your typical dog that, barks out the window when you're walking by or whatever.
Yeah, this is a dog that when you walk by, it like slams into the front glass and like the curtains go everywhere. And you're just like, oh my God, like how many times can you hit a window before it's just going to break?
Yeah, and the animal control guy said, like, well, they mentioned, like, the kids ride by on their scooters and it aggravates the dog. And I'm like...
It's a neighborhood. They're allowed to do that, sir.
It's a neighborhood. There's lots of kids on bikes and scooters. They're not throwing rocks at the damn dog and taunting it. They're just driving by on the street.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's not normal for a dog. But... thank God, Jax is okay. He's safe. We got him on antibiotics. We'll go back for a checkup to make sure everything's cool. And there was no shanking or shooting of any animal in front of kids, which is good. And the dog did stop after the neighbor ran up and said, hey, stop, or whatever. Apparently the dog stopped, looked, and...
good lesson, though, is when a dog is chasing you or coming at you, not to run. Mm-hmm. Because when you run, you kind of act like a prey.
Yeah.
And that like predator instinct kicks in and then they come after you,
then it's
right?
like a chase, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so this brings us to our first question, which is somebody that had a very similar situation. So let's look at that. So it's from Chad Parrish. Says, I was walking with my dog on the sidewalk on a 3-foot leash when a dog that was outside its house in the front yard with people outside, not on a leash, came running over to my dog, started fighting. What legally can I do to protect my dogs and myself?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a carry permit. What's the answer?
So actually, legally, you're not allowed to use your firearm to protect a pet because in Florida, it's considered a object, right?
It's just a thing,
A thing. Like, you're not allowed to shoot somebody for breaking in your car and stealing your, something in your car because it's an object. So Florida law sees pets the same way, even though we see them as a family member, right? Most people would agree that has a dog or a pet, you're not going to just stand by. But I think that this is a situation, again, where you want to have multiple forms of self-defense. So you want to have what?
So I just had I totally forgot about this, but I don't know what dog it was, but I was walking a dog through our neighborhood, and all of a sudden this big, like, pit bull just came. I don't know where it came from. I think it was Roxy, which is like one of our small little dogs. And this big pit bull came charging at us, and I was wearing boots for some reason. And like if you were going to curb stomp somebody, that's what I did to this dog's head when it ran up to like attack Roxy. I just freaking kicked it right in the head. That dog left.
Yeah. So, but things like that, or, pepper spray or something else that you can use against the animal to stop them from doing, because it's the same thing. You just want to get them to stop what they are doing. Right. So now there are times when the dog is completely insane. Like that lady that just got freaking mauled to death. She was taking care of the dog at the animal control place.
Yeah. And she knew it was dangerous, but she went inside the cage anyway.
Because a lot of times it's almost like the whole Tiger King thing. They say like those guys that own tigers, they have this like mentality that they have like this special connection with the animal. They have this special thing, so it's not going to happen to them. And
which is why I want to buy a tiger.
Shut up. A lot of animal lovers that work in like rescues and stuff, they feel like they've built this like special bond with this animal. So they break safety protocols because they feel like it's never going to happen to them. And that was kind of this situation, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you have an animal that is just not stopping and continuing to attack, when you get your hands in there and then they start like biting you and stuff, I think that might be kind of different because now technically you're being attacked as well.
Yeah. Somebody was asking on here, like, what if you have a pocket knife? Can you slit the dog's throat?
Okay.
Pretty hardcore, bro. Pretty
I do want to
hardcore.
clarify, I did get the shot records. I did do all that. I filed the, animal control thing. We took care of it. I made sure.
Yeah, we got all the dog records.
Jax is
All that
okay.
stuff's fine.
Yeah.
Jax is fine. He's solid.
He just has to take his antibiotics because I guess there's some kind of bacteria that's in every dog's mouth. And she said, if you don't take that antibiotic, you will get an infection.
It's because they lick their butthole all day.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, shouldn't lick buttholes. Just
Okay,
FYI.
so really the answer to this question here is you do not have a right to use a gun. You need to just get your dog away because there's not much else you can really do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so this is a Florida sheriff's deputy is kind of getting a lot of heat.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We appreciate you, man. He's getting a lot of heat because he made a comment on social media and said homeowners should shoot burglars and save the taxpayers money. So let's watch this video. That didn't work. Okay, I guess I didn't properly check all my stuff here.
Wow, Ryan G. Fail. Major fail.
Okay, story.
Man with a history of violence and home invasions is back in
Look at that
custody
lady right
after
there.
a
You see how,
burglary
like,
spree yesterday.
She's like, this is my first time on TV.
Daniel Smithson reports people in the Santa Villa
Very
neighborhood
serious.
in
Yeah.
Case were horrified as the man ran from deputies.
Philip Marshke was at work Wednesday evening when he got a call from his wife. This man, 32-year-old Brandon Harris, was
Dude, that
You don't
guy-
want that guy
backyard.
coming in your
It was
house.
terrifying, knowing that I'm
He looks like the guy
all
that
the
does our
way in
taxes.
Pensacola at work, and this is happening.
Marshke's daughter was playing in the backyard and ran inside to her mother as Harris charged toward the door.
She locked the door just in time as he got to the door and started pulling on it.
And he smiled at her through the window. I don't know if he was trying to reassure her it's okay for him to come inside.
Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson said Thursday Harris had broken into at least 4 homes in the Santa Villa neighborhood Wednesday as he ran from deputies. Harris had active warrants, Johnson said, and did not want to be caught.
And he's jumping fences and breaking into houses as he goes. We finally corner him in a house that he broke into on Tom Sawyer, and we corner him in a bedroom.
This video released by the sheriff's office shows deputies busting through a bedroom door and Harris jumping out the
dude,
window.
fucking bailed out of the window.
He was
Did you see
taken
that?
into custody and charged with several counts of burglary
Superman.
and attempted larceny.
Look at his face.
Johnson
Imagine
said at
seeing
least
him in
one
your room
homeowner
at
shot
night.
at Harris
Oh, hell
as he
no.
tried to break into their home. Johnson applauded their efforts.
If somebody's breaking in your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County. We prefer that you do, actually. Whoever that was, you're not in trouble. Come see us. We have a gun safety class we put on every other Saturday, and if you take that, you'll shoot a lot better, and hopefully you'll save the taxpayers money.
All right, so Tiff, again, can't hear the video, but that guy was running from police, and he was, breaking into people's house trying to hide from the cops. So the cops had him cornered in that house, and they thought they got him, and then the dude Supermaned out the window.
So just wait before you go on. Did anybody else get total EBGBs from the look of that guy? Imagine that guy looked freaking evil as hell.
Yeah, that guy is
Imagine
evil.
that guy standing over your freaking
Okay,
bed.
so the story, the intro story there is a woman was in her backyard doing something, probably
Yeah.
laundry, which is what women are supposed to do.
One of these times you're gonna get so freaking slammed.
So then that guy hopped the fence or was just in the backyard, and the woman was able to run into the house, shut and lock the door real quick, and then the guy started grabbing the door and trying to get in. So, and then she said she looked, and the guy, as soon as he realized the door was locked, he smiled at her, which again, because he's I almost got you, right? I was close. I almost got you. But that is a great example how we can get very comfortable, in our backyard, in our house, and all that stuff. And then, but you just never know. You never know when a crazy dog is going to come out of nowhere and attack your family.
Yeah.
You never know when some crazy methed out dude like this.
Yeah, he's gonna freaking run in your house. Holy crap.
What do you think about the sheriff's comment about homeowners should just shoot burglars and save taxpayers money? I think he's been watching a lot of Grady Judd videos, and he's trying to compete.
He's probably hey, this guy's getting a lot of action. I'm not getting action. But I mean, it's fair that he thinks that way. I just want to make it clear though that you're doing it legally. They're in your house while you're in there, and it's actually because I wouldn't want it to be a blanket statement burglary. So now you see somebody breaking in your car and you shoot him, and you're oh well, that sheriff said. So you got to kind of be careful.
See, and this is the problem I really do get in this debate a lot with people in the class. They're because they don't understand that that's just very basic statement, and there's a lot being left out of context,
Yes,
right?
and that's what worries me, because now you're like this, seen as this law
Authority figure.
and people are going to take that and be like, yeah, hell yeah, and then they're going to shoot someone. That's
And then
breaking
you're the
into
sheriff
car.
that arrests them, and they're like, what the hell, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just like when that sheriff at church told us, oh, yeah, we go shooting in the woods over there, and then you go shooting, and we got helicopters.
And then I get arrested, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Go talk to
Helicopters,
this.
dogs, and a felony arrest. When
Yeah.
a sheriff told us, hey, you should go shooting there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of, like, if you're lawfully allowed to
It's
under
kinda
Florida
like-
Statute 790.
No, but it's also kind of like somebody like Joe Yeager, right? So Joe is a financial, like, wealth management guy.
Yeah.
If Joe says, hey, Ryan, go buy this stock,
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy it,
Right.
right? But then if Joe misrepresents that
Right.
and tells me to go buy something because I, like, trust what he's saying,
Yeah.
and then I go do something and I lose a ton of money,
Yeah.
then I'm going to be like, what the hell, Joe, right? Like, don't tell me anything anymore.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like-
So Couture says the sheriff isn't going to show up at your trial. Exactly,
Yeah.
right? It's like Nikki Fried telling everybody, yeah, get a marijuana license and a concealed carry license. I did it. It's like, yeah, but you're not going to go stand up if something happens. So.
Okay, so two things we're going to address real quick. Constitutional carry did not pass in the state of Florida.
Okay, yeah.
I know a lot of people were asking about it. Canic Bill was asking about it. So it was never even part of this special session. So we got a message from somebody from Guns America, Gun Owners of America, who wanted to be on our live show last week to like talk about it. And then the guy like never followed up with us. And I was like, that was kind of rude. What the hell happened, man? So DeSantis, these politicians are smart. This is what I would do. You want to poll everybody and figure out, before we bring this to the floor, do we have enough support to make this pass?
Right.
Because if we don't, then let's not embarrass ourselves by bringing something forward that's never going to make it.
Right.
So that's what happened.
And
They
they
obviously
want wins.
they want wins.
Yeah.
So they obviously brought it to the floor, they brought it to all the different people, and they realized we do not have enough support to get this thing to pass.
Right.
So they took it off of the special session list of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So they never even discussed it, which means we got another year and a half to see what's going to ever
Yes,
happen with it.
DeSantis is a smart man.
Yeah, he's
I
smart.
agree.
Strategically, he knows what he's doing, which is great.
Yep, exactly.
The other thing is, Michelle says DeSantis passed a law that allowed concealed carry holders to legally stop anyone looting or committing a felony. So if you remember, I posted a video when it was called the anti-mob law. When they first proposed it, like it gave gun owners a lot of rights to stop looters and like defend our businesses and stuff. But the actual law is inside of my book, Florida Concealed Carry Law. Shocker that it's in there, right?
Huh, look at that.
So it's in there. It is nothing like what the original bill is like. I don't remember it exactly, but you do not have a right to shoot a looter.
Right.
It like has nothing. It's just
Just
totally
like
watered
everything
down.
else, it's watered
Yeah.
down. Exactly.
Yeah, so make sure you understand what that rule is before
Mm-hmm.
you just start shooting looters, because it is not what they told us it was going to be.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, wait. Samantha Richards says, because I get tired of doing the whole belt holster thing, but you never know when that moment may come, so you got to be strapped. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, especially in the summer when it gets super hot and you just want to throw on a comfy pair of, sweatpants or a dress, and it kind of makes it hard. And, there's always that voice in the back of your head that's like, you're fine. Just go to Publix. You've done this a million times. Don't worry about it, right? And that's going to be the freaking day that something
Well, you know what?
happens.
The reality check that I had the other day is I dropped the boys off at the bus stop at like 6:30, and then I go for a walk. And it's usually, now it's not, but a couple weeks ago, it was still dark at that time, right? So I'm walking in pitch black, 2 miles, and then the neighbor, as we're talking about this dog attack thing, she's like, yeah, I see coyotes out there all the time. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I've never seen a coyote. She said one of them, you could clearly tell had rabies. And I was like, wow, like I need to carry a flashlight more often.
Yeah.
And with my gun, because
Yeah.
if I'm like trying to shoot a rabid coyote
Right.
with no light, that's going to be challenging.
Sure. Yeah. And then what about the shooting that happened at the car wash, right? The car wash that you
Yeah.
go to,
Yeah.
right by your office, and there's a guy that shoots 81 or 79
70-something
rounds.
bullets,
Like,
yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
To me, that was like, you just don't know when stuff is going to happen. Because stuff like that typically doesn't happen around here. But there's been a few things. The guy getting killed going out of the bank, Matthew.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a few instances in our thing that was
one time,
this could have happened to us.
I don't think I've ever, like, publicly talked about this, but one time I was going to the airport or something, and it was, like, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It was super early. And I remember driving out of my neighborhood, and I was like, oh, my God, there's a cop right at the end of our street, flat lights flashing. And I was like, what the hell? So then I pull up. There's cops all the way down here. Like, they had our entire subdivision blocked off. And I was like, what's going on, dude? And he's like, we have somebody on the run. We can't find him right now. So they like looked at my vehicle and then let me go. And I was like, oh, my God, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we're all sleeping in this safe little neighborhood, and we have no idea that there's a criminal and dozens of police and helicopters looking for some scumbag.
I was going to say, think how many times you hear those helicopters, right? Hovering. What is that person, what are they looking for that person for? And are they hiding under your freaking couch or trying to wiggle your door open? Like, craziness. So, yes, Samantha, you need to stay strapped.
Stay strapped or get clapped.
All
right, so next story. This one is really hilarious in my opinion, but this is a Uber driver that got attacked by a grandmother in Pinellas County.
A woman caught on camera attacking an Uber driver a year ago will not serve jail time. She pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanors and got probation.
Yeah, and that Uber driver is now calling this a case of injustice. 8 on your sides. Chip Wasowski joins us now live from the Probation and Parole Office with more on the story. Chip.
And good afternoon to you both. Under a plea deal with the state, Michelle Stillwell was able to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors, battery and disorderly conduct. The judge in the case sentenced her to 18 months probation. The victim in this case calls that a slap on the wrist.
I am pretty upset about it. I am sad about it. And like I said, I just don't feel like the justice system worked at all in my favor.
Michael Hassey Jr. still trembles when he describes the incident that happened a year ago on the Howard Franklin Bridge.
She starts reaching over and grabbing me and touching me, and she tried to make me wreck my car off of the bridge and into the other vehicles and whatnot.
And it was all caught on camera.
She's not doing it. You can't breathe. I'm just your Uber driver. Stop! Let go of him!
Pinellas deputies arrested Michelle Stillwell, charging her with 2 felonies, aggravated battery and tampering with a witness.
She's like
Hassey tells 8 on your side, when Stillwell's attorney questioned him, he felt like he was the one on trial.
Did you just say he should have punched her in the twat?
I did say that. Okay. So
who uses that word?
I don't know, but it just felt good in the moment. So imagine being an Uber driver, and that lady gets in, and she just starts choking you. Now, what I find fascinating about this incident is as this lady is choking him, and he's saying verbally, I can't breathe, the guy's just like, hey, I'm just your Uber driver, whatever. Punch that lady in the face.
No,
you should be grabbing that lady's arm and bending it.
But I kind of have mad respect for him also.
Why? What does respect have to do with this?
I don't know. Because he's like, I don't want to hit a lady. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me. Yeah, they say you should never hit a woman. In this instance, I think, I'm saying.
Punch her.
100%. This chick is mad. She's crazy. She needs to go to jail. They need to, teach.
And she's not a woman.
What?
She's not acting like a woman. Okay, biologically, she's a woman.
I thought you were going to, say something. Okay. No, she's a woman, but this is the thing, though. Yeah, that's insane. She needs.
Okay, so here's the story. The lady got arrested and charged with 2 felonies.
Okay.
But then she pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors, will serve no jail time, and she gets 18 months of probation.
No.
And that's what the whole story's about. That young guy is pissed. He says, I feel like the system is not helping me.
Yeah.
Because you're just allowing a criminal scumbag like this back on the streets. And I get maybe this is her first offense, but that's a pretty violent thing, right?
And you're allowing, this is what you're doing, is you're telling people that it's okay to go out, act like a freaking fool, attack someone, slap someone at the freaking Grammys or Oscars or whatever. You're saying it's okay, and it's not okay.
Okay, so my question is, and you guys post it in the comments real quick, So the driver, what should the driver have done? Should he have just been a victim and said, "Hey, please help me"?
No, he should have hit her. But I'm just saying, like, guys, don't get me wrong.
So what about all the people standing around the vehicle, right? Like there were men, there were women.
I would have jumped in the back.
Dude, I would have been all over that lady, like white on rice.
I don't think that they should have just watched. They were filming, watching. I don't know.
No, I would have opened up my door and I would have kicked her in the head.
Well, yeah, I would have definitely.
While screaming America.
Ryan would have been in there like this.
No, it would have been gangbusters. I'm telling you, I would have wrecked that lady because it's unacceptable. And the guy was still driving when all this happened, right? And then he like pulled in, was able to stop, and then he kind of got his car out of the way.
Oh, maybe that's why he was like, I don't know. His hands weren't on the wheels. That just looked real dangerous.
Katura, it just kind of goes to show. So she says, like, everybody just stood there.
They just stood there. I don't get it.
Those are the
100%.
sheep, right? And those are the people that they're not coming to help you. They're watching. And they're going to record because they're like, this is what I'm going to do. But they're not going to actually get their hands dirty and go do something.
Yeah. So, no victim as a driver, fight back. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I was just saying, like, I kind of think it's, a little, like, he was trying to just be
Troy says broken finger stops the attack. I agree. You snapped that lady's finger.
Especially once she started freaking biting him and, like, really getting up in there. So did she have a mental illness? Or what the hell?
We don't really know much about the lady, but clearly there's something psychological happening. This is not normal.
I don't even know, Jess, if you could do pepper spray in that instance because they're
could.
right there. Yeah, but you're going to get it, too. That would probably be hard, pepper spray. I don't know. I just think he should have started doing this, right? Just started punching her. But crazy. That is freaking crazy. My issue with this is I'm sick and tired of people getting away with shit like this.
I know.
Because you're getting away and you're letting everybody know that it's okay. Like that, this is totally off topic and not even violent, but that person that was like going around opening up all the ice creams in the store, what were they doing?
They were licking it or something.
They were licking it or something?
But that was like a TikTok prank or something.
Nah, it was before TikTok. It was before TikTok even was around.
No, I've been in a social media kind of
shit
prank.
Like that needs to be shut down right away. Like you need to be an example. They make an example out of you. You go to jail for a year. There you go. That's what I say.
We don't want you to be a judge. That's pretty hardcore, Tiff.
Yeah,
I agree,
I should be a judge. I'd be a great judge.
I'd be a great judge too. What? You didn't punch that lady in the twat? What's wrong with you, man? All right, let's get to the next story. Okay, Bill Emmerich asked a question that I was already going to bring up because we had like a massive explosion inside of the Florida Concealed Carry Facebook group when this guy posted this picture.
So he left. He didn't like my comment, and he left. So I feel bad. I mean, come back to the group. I was a little snappy.
Okay, so here's what the guy says. So I guess I should have mentioned that I'm not trying to conceal my firearm, don't have a concealed carry permit, looking at a way to transport my firearm securely encased, blah, blah, blah. So Bill's question was, like, what are the requirements for having a gun inside of your car with a magnet, whatever? So we are allowed to have a firearm inside of our vehicle with or without a carry permit as long as the firearm is securely encased or not readily accessible for immediate use. So securely encased means the gun can be inside of the glove box, center console, zipper gun bag, snapped in a holster, something of that nature.
Plastic Ziploc container, really.
Probably, yeah. Not readily accessible means the firearm cannot be accessed as fast as if it was on your body. So, like, if a firearm was just loose, sitting on the center console, that would be readily accessible, and it is not securely encased, so that would be illegal. This guy, the firearm is in a holster, and so it's allowed to be readily accessible, even though he doesn't have a permit. So, like, his debate was, or like what a lot of people are saying is, the firearm is visible. The law, part of concealed carry means that it cannot be visible to the ordinary sight of another person. So if somebody's driving like a really big pickup truck where you're never going to be able to look in and see it, then that's acceptable to have it visible to you because other people can't see it, right? Yeah. But it's...
but it kind of has to be like a monster truck because if another pickup truck drives up against you, you're going to see it. And most vehicles, I mean, you can kind of just glance in and see it, right?
Yeah.
So it can't be, it's got to be out of the sight. So what I told the guy is, throw a tea towel over it, you're fine. But as it is right now, somebody just passing you by can see it, which you also don't want because you get into a little, I cut you
road
off.
rage saying, and they're like,
I cut you off here. They're like, guy flashed a gun at me.
Yeah.
You don't want people to see the firearm because, it can be seen as intimidating or whatever else. So anyway,
yeah.
that.
Yeah. And,
Okay, Eddie says, I apologize for my girlfriend's behavior to the Uber driver. She's history now. I want to date Tiffany's sister. So funny.
Yeah. We were trading up. Lori is up to date on her shots and medications.
Yeah,
so.
Lori's up to date on her shots. Oh, Eddie, you would probably actually be good because she doesn't want to have kids, and the problem is she has a son young, and the problem is she's only like 43 or something like that. So all the guys she dates want to have babies, and she's like, hell no, like I don't got any kids in the house. I'm living my life. She does what she wants. So she doesn't want kids. Yeah. So it's hard to find. I told you got to wait another 10 years. And then you'll get men in your own age, that don't want kids.
She just needs to hang out at a country club or something like that. Like.
And Lori's like me. She likes older men. I don't know how I ended up with a younger man because I'm into like the 55, 60s. I don't know.
I know why.
I like it.
55, 60?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I don't know. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
All right. So next crazy story. Are you rubbing your boob against me?
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Okay. Imagine this. Watch this. Oh, what the hell just happened? Okay. Guess you can't imagine that because I can't show the video. This is an incident. Go.
Before you go, I want to answer this. Charles says you can't just throw a towel over it if you don't have a concealed carry license. I need you to answer that.
So, yeah, you can. I mean, you're allowed to have a firearm in your vehicle as long as it is without a carry permit. It can be anywhere in your vehicle as long as it is securely encased.
Because he's not concealing it when he puts a towel over it because the definition of concealed is to be
on or about your person.
Yes. So it would be.
Again, you're allowed to have a firearm inside of your vehicle anywhere without a license as long as it is securely encased, which one of the definitions of that means snapped in a holster. So if the firearm is snapped in a holster and it is not readily visible to the ordinary sight of another person, then you are allowed to have that firearm there with just a towel, whatever. It's 100% legal.
Yeah, because I think you're doing what he said. He's like, then I'd be concealing it. I don't have a concealed carry permit. I'm like, that's not considered concealing it.
But
having it on or about your person.
It doesn't mean you won't get arrested.
Yes,
because
100%.
the police do not know any of this.
That's why you keep a copy of Ryan's book in your car.
I want to know. I had this idea a couple nights ago. Do you guys want me to turn my book into an app? All the books, like Florida Concealed Carry Law, Shoot or Don't Shoot. It'll have the videos and dope stuff in there. Do you want me to turn that into an app you can have on your phone? And anytime you get pulled over, you can be like, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Officer, but Ryan G., the legend, says that this is 100% legal, and here's the law here. So you guys put in the comments there below. Tell me, the FBI story's coming up. I'm dangling the fishing hook so you guys can stay along. But
yeah, so Valerie's banned. She made a comment on our last story. She's banned, so she's on YouTube. So.
Banned from Facebook, huh?
Yeah, they get banned constantly because what happens is you ask, is this shoot or don't shoot? And they say, I would shoot in this situation, and then they get banned.
What bullshit.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Oh, Steven Easters is on there.
No way!
If you guys want to get a water softener for your house, Steve Easters, Culligan Water will hook you up.
Yes.
All you got to do is message us. We'll give you his information. Steve will help you.
Hi, Steve.
Okay. Should we do the FBI story?
Yeah,
No, I
go
don't have
ahead.
another question.
So craziness happened today. Well, gotta remember, first part of our story, right? We're waiting for animal control to arrive all day long. Guy walks up to the door. Looks like animal control.
The guy's like he's got like a notebook. It's got like some official emblem or whatever on it.
He looks serious, right?
Now, like you guys that know me know that when people don't show up on time for stuff, I'm pretty angry, okay? So and I don't hide it. I'm going to let you know I'm pissed so you understand this is the line you just crossed. If you want me to like you, don't cross this line again. So the guy, animal control is supposed to be here between 8 and 9. At 9:01, I called animal control and was like, where are you? Okay, and they're like, oh, we're dealing with something, whatever.
No, you probably said worse than that.
No, I was nice, but I just said, where are you? You said you're going to be here. Where the hell are you? So then the guy shows up at 10:45 or 11:30, I guess. And I'm being snappy at him because I'm like, I want you to know that I'm mad.
You're the animal control?
So no, he comes and he's standing really close to the door, which I thought, this is kind of aggressive. You're kind of pushing your way in here, right? And he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, whatever. And I was like, and he's like, I'm with whatever. And I said, who are you with? And he goes, I'm with the FBI. And he flips it open. And I'm not exaggerating. When he says this to me, I'm like, shit. Because I'm going through my mind, what have I said on the internet lately that was stupid? Like a video obviously got posted where I said something I shouldn't have said.
What did I do? Ryan's
what did I do illegal lately?
He's thinking, I have all my guns. I didn't do anything bad. I got my suppressors all out. You're probably thinking everything, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, good thing I took the weed off the counter this morning because, like, this wouldn't have been good.
I baked it into the muffins.
Yeah. So he, like, starts talking, and he's like, hey, you know, I love your YouTube channel. And he starts saying all this stuff, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay. So at some point, I don't remember why, but I was like, come on in. So he came in, and I was like, have a seat, like, in our sitting room. And I sit down, and I promise you guys, I'm sitting there like this, and the guy is, like, kind of fanboying a little bit, right? So he's like, hey, I watch your videos. Your videos are amazing.
Yeah, he just said, like, you said some good stuff, right? Like, you sound like somebody who, you know, is just wanting to support the Second Amendment, do the right thing, you know, follow the laws that we have in place.
Alan says he came to ask questions about me, didn't he? Maybe. So, but again, so I'm sitting there, and the whole time, like, I know how these interrogations go, right? You lower my guard, you get me to feel like we're friends, and then you ask me a question, and you, like, get my reaction real quick, and I'm caught off guard.
Yeah.
So the whole time, I'm like, don't say shit, Ryan. I'm like, you're never going to get me alive, bro.
Okay,
like,
and then there's me, who's like Chatty Cathy, right? Just like...
Yeah, me, I'm like guarded, and I'm like...
Because I had no idea you were thinking any of this.
Oh, dude, I'm like, get to the point. I don't care that you like my book.
I was about to
I don't care that you like my videos.
Banana muffins.
No, tell me what you want. Tell me what crime I'm being...
Because you're getting stressed at this point, like what's happening.
Again, I don't feel like I've done anything illegal, but like, who knows, right? They say you average person commits like 5 felonies a day.
Right. Oh, wow.
So I probably commit like 25. I just don't know.
I don't commit 5 felonies a day.
That's what they say. They say you don't even realize it. You commit like 5 felonies a day.
Okay. So, Tiff got flipped by the FBI. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Hey,
Mercedes, what's up?
Mercedes! Holy crap. You're like my hero.
Why?
Because when I met the guys at Mission First Barbecue after the shooting. I was hoping to meet you there.
Okay, hold on.
But wait.
We had the Sheepdog Masterclass on Friday.
Yeah.
Bill was there. A lot of people were there. Mercedes was there, and she shot like a rock star.
So I asked everybody who was the best shooter, and everybody said Mercedes. And I was like, no way. A chick took it for the win. Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah, she did good.
So,
Bill did really good too.
Good on you. Yeah, so awesome.
So again, this guy is like just talking about, I love your videos, I love this, blah, blah, blah. He said, based on what I know about you right now, so we kind of pre-framed it, he said, you really are an expert in this field. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, can you write the foreword for my next book? Can we get that in writing kind of thing? But here's what he... Here's what he really wanted. He said, you know, Ryan, we have, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are very dangerous and shouldn't have guns. And I said, I agree. Like, I meet those people that right away were like, this person should not be in possession of a firearm. And he said, like, basically, you know, when you get people like that, well, again, he looked up my file and, like, ran my whole history and stuff. And if you guys remember, we had a guy come to our church that made some very big, like, terrorism threats to our church and to Christians. So I called the FBI, which later it went to the Homeland Security. 12 people were interviewed in total in this investigation. The suspect was interviewed. He's still here in Brandon. So he's like, I looked into him. He's still in Brandon. I can't tell you where, but he's still here. There's no, like...
Don't give too much info.
No terrorist threats right now, but, you know, we're still kind of watching everything.
Yeah. I'll let you talk.
Okay, so anyway, he's like, you know, if you ever have anybody come into your classes that you feel is just really strange and not being a normal person, would you be willing to just contact us and just tell us who the person is? And I said, of course, right? Like...
So let's back up, okay? Because we don't want people like, oh, I can't take a class. I'm scared. This is not like I, you know, have questions about can I shoot in this situation and not this situation. We're talking about like when we told the story about that 19 or 20-year-old kid coming into our gun store asking us which gun would be best to shoot 30 cows in a room.
Okay, so the guy came into the room and he said, if I walked into a building and there were 30 cows in a room, how do I kill all the cows really fast? And I said, that's a stupid question to ask. Like, why would cows be in a building, dude? And then I just kind of brushed him off and we kept talking. And then he's like, all right, so now he's holding an AR as I'm showing it to him. And he's like, if I walked into a room and there were 5 cows in the room, would I just hold the trigger down and go like this? And I said, you sound like a school shooter.
And this guy had like a bowl cut, if you can think.
Yeah.
Like the weirdest looking bowl cut, and his eyes are like this. Like hairs on the back of your neck standing up. You know something is not right. That's what they're talking about. Somebody like that you know for a matter of fact, and it does happen.
Kind of like when the 9/11 terrorists were taking their flight school.
Yeah.
You know, it's very normal for people to want to learn how to fly a plane. That's not a big deal. Somebody who's learning how to fly a plane that says, I don't need to learn how to land, okay, that should trigger like a little warning to, well, that's not normal.
Or the guy that shot up the Pulse nightclub, you know, he went to a gun store first and the guy wouldn't sell him a firearm. The reason why is because he said something that was completely off normal, what a normal person in a normal frame of mind would say.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify, like, this is not like, you know, because right away it's going to be like.
Yeah, already people are saying it on here. Oh, this is very disturbing.
No, I think they're
nobody cares.
talking about the guy wanting to shoot cows.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, that's very disturbing. So what people need to understand, because a lot of people are like, you know, abolish ATF, abolish this, abolish that, but I don't think that people understand how much they actually stop, how many terrorist cells
So
there are.
my buddy, which I can't tell you his name or who he works for, but he came into our gun store one day, which he usually only came in like in the evening to calm down before he went home to see his family. So he came in like 9 a.m. and I'm standing there talking to him and I'm like, hey bro, like you reek of body odor. Like you just reek. And he's like, and I was like, you know, why are you here in the morning? And he's like, just had a long night, man. And he said, my team and I, so just picture a 3-letter agency with team, satellites, and crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's like, my team and I have been chasing this terrorist around the state of Florida all night. And I was like, oh my God. Because like, again, I'm asleep. So this is like Jack Bauer stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like the TV show 24. Like I'm asleep, have no clue what's happening, but there's like, you crazy people out here chasing a terrorist who's obviously planning to do really horrible stuff to Americans.
Right, and people.
We need people like that.
Yes, otherwise we're going to be overtaken like they are in these other countries, right? Where they're just completely, you know, bombing and killing people and doing all this crazy stuff. So anyway, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for the guy that's like, can I shoot someone if they break into my car? Ooh, you know, and stuff like that. So anyway, interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm glad. I was hoping Tiffany was going to like serve this guy coffee or something so that if I do ever get arrested, I could like call in a favor and be like, hey, bro, you remember that time I gave you coffee and biscuits at my house? That shit's not free. So I'm going to need you to lose some paperwork for me.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty interesting because you don't expect it, right? Ryan and I are just hanging out and then it's like, oh, crap.
Hey, we got it. And then Jackson was watching a video on YouTube because he's staying home from school today about the FBI. And he came down and Tiff's like, yeah, there was actually just an FBI agent here. And she's like, shut up. No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
So Tiff called me and I was like, here's his card, buddy. Like there was an FBI agent here
it was pretty
5
funny.
minutes ago.
Yeah, so super funny.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Do you have any more stories? Oh, we're almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Holy
one
crap.
more, which is a really interesting shoot or don't shoot scenario. So this is happening in Plant City right now. This white SUV is like pulling up to people and doing a drive-by with an airsoft gun.
Oh, hell no.
So I'm sure it's a bunch of teenagers.
TikTok, it's
Is
like
it?
the Orbeez guns, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, the
Someone's
question
gonna
that I
kill.
have for you guys is it legal if somebody comes up with an airsoft gun, I don't know what an Orbeez gun is, and they start shooting you and you truly believe it is a real gun, do you have a legal right to pull out your firearm and engage that individual?
Okay, so yes, Katora, I just made banana nut muffins yesterday, so I was totally going to do coffee and muffins for him because I'm kind of like Martha Stewart, right?
No, Martha Stewart, she's racist.
Oh,
besides, no, you're...
Is she?
Pretty
I
sure.
think you're thinking about Paula Deen.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Paula Deen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because Martha Stewart was like flirting with Snoop Dogg, like big time.
no, they own businesses. They own a marijuana dispensary together.
Do they?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Awesome.
like, yeah.
Yeah, Tiffany is like amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of our
When's the
house.
last time you ever said that about me?
I don't know. When I'm trying to get laid. So, like, I just assume our house is just normal. But Tiff like posted a picture of the inside of our house the other day on some Facebook group, and it got like thousands of likes and shares and all this crazy stuff. And
16,000.
Yeah, people are like, oh my God, your house is so amazing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is just your house doesn't look like this. I thought everybody's house looked like this.
See, Ryan's guns, and I'm like decorating.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to answer this question for this ballistic person. He wants to know if the...
I know, I just was typing it. I bought these panels at Home Depot.
Yes.
I think they're like
$30.
$50, $30.
$30 each.
There's basically 2 of them or 3 of them sitting there.
Yeah, but
They're
they
pretty
look
cool.
they look
Looks real.
really real. And you
But it's actually like you can touch it and it's like
raised, embossed, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
That's cool. It's neat. And you guys, I don't know if you can see it. Like I can see it.
Right here.
But right there, you can see the seam.
Right there.
Bothers me, but I'm sure none of you have ever noticed it before.
Yeah, you can see the seam.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can pick them up at Home Depot. They're really cool. All right. Do we have any other questions? No, you got this story. So, okay, let's just quickly touch on this because the kids really like to play with your training guns sometimes. Yeah. So one of the moms comes to pick up her kid, and Lincoln has the Glock, right? That looks like it looks like a real gun, and it's just sitting on the thing, and I'm like, gonna stick it behind my back, like all nonchalant. And I'm like, Lincoln, put this away. Like when people are coming over and then they know we teach gun classes. So they're like, oh my gosh, this
guy just leaves guns laying everywhere.
There's like 10 kids here and they just leave guns laying around. So it's very important if you do, have any airsoft guns and stuff like that to talk to your kids about not shooting.
Okay, but that's not the question.
These trends are going around though. Yeah, but these things, because they get big on TikTok and people think that it's just funny to go shooting.
No, I got to tell you, if you pull up to me at a gas station and pull out an airsoft gun, don't freaking cry and ask for a monument to be built in your name when I freaking smoke your ass.
That's what I'm saying.
In the middle of the street, because I will shoot you.
Yeah.
100%. And it will be a justified shoot because the Florida law says that we have a right to use or threaten the use of deadly force if we have a reasonable belief of imminent death. So my reasonable belief, what?
Everyone's saying, why'd you tell us about the seam?
I know.
Now all they see is the stupid seam.
I know, it's crazy, right?
They said, we're going to talk about it every live stream.
Do you guys want to notice another thing that always drives me nuts?
No!
And it's so hard for me to fix.
Are you kidding me?
Do you guys notice how, you can see more of the... Oh, shit, I can't even move my fingers in the right. You see how there's more bricks showing here than there is over here? It's, so hard for me to fix that I can never get it right.
And you're totally freaking out about this?
It's little things that I notice that, again, nobody else notices. But now you guys will always see it.
Everybody's going to notice.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, it's in every video. It drives me nuts, but whatever.
Yeah, so that's extreme. Just spank them. Well,
oh, no.
This is the thing.
It's because...
So we have Airsoft AR-15, though, and
No, even my Airsoft Glocks, I have 2 of them.
I don't care who you are. You cannot tell.
You would never know. You have in a life or death situation, you have 1.5 seconds to identify a threat, pull your gun from concealment, and then make an accurate hit in that bad guy's chest. 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's not a person on here. If I pointed one of my airsoft guns at your face, you could not determine if it's a real gun or an airsoft gun in less than 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's over.
Yeah, so you have to have this conversation with your kids if you have kids and they, watch social media, only because they don't even think, these kids just don't even think.
They don't think. And if you remember, if you go back to my old YouTube videos, I used to talk about this a lot, one of the big trends on YouTube is while somebody's sitting on a toilet, they will slide underneath with a BB gun and they would point it at you just to scare you. Okay, you got to understand, when I'm sitting on the can at a restaurant or whatever, my gun is in my hand, okay?
Do you remember what...
So you slide underneath that thing with a gun, it'll literally take me a microsecond to get my gun out of that holster and pop through that door, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And then again, I got the parents of some 16-year-old saying, how dare you shoot my son? It was only a BB gun. Okay, how dare your son threaten my life with what I thought was a real gun?
Yeah, it's not a joke. Do you remember those YouTubers, though, that were doing, pranks, and then one ended up getting shot? And we were saying, someone's going to get shot. This is not...
You're going to get the wrong person one day.
It's not a prank.
Somebody who is highly trained, skilled, and ready.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to get smoked, and then everybody's going to be like, how dare you shoot my son?
They think they have time to be like, wait, it's a prank? But when you have somebody who's highly trained, they got their firearm out of their holster in a split second, and boom, you're done.
Yeah.
And that's what
happens.
happens.
Then you are now affecting my life because now I have to remember my entire life that I killed some idiot kid.
Yeah.
I took you away from your family, whatever. Now I feel bad when I shouldn't have to feel bad about that.
Yeah. So, stupid pranks. I know that one's going around everywhere.
Yeah, BB guns do look real. Pop you real quick. Yeah, I should make that.
It depends. Like, some of them definitely look like you could not tell. So, what brand of airsoft are the guns? You know,
I actually don't know, but there's only one company that makes a Glock 19X and an airsoft.
But it's the one that we have. It's a training pistol. It's the same weight. It's a green gas gun. So it's actually it's used for in IDPA training matches. So it's the same weight as a real gun. It recoils like a...
And the one that we have was so alike the Glock that the Glock actually sued the company making this airsoft gun for patent infringement. Yeah. And then they had to stop making it, but I was able to get one before they got banned.
Actually, I bought it.
Yeah, you bought it at the gun store. Somebody came and sold it to us, right?
No, I bought it at like a shooting match thing that I went to from a trainer. Yeah. So anyway, you could not tell if your life depended on it, whether or not it, I mean, it looks real, it sounds real, everything's real. So anyway, that's it. I think we're done, dude. It's 8 o'clock. We're done all the questions.
Done.
Thanks for hopping on, everybody. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and put up your book. If you want a copy of Ryan's book, go to floridaconcealedcarrylaw.com. We're going to give you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, which is going to be $9.95, and I'll ship that sucker out to you tomorrow.
Like grease lightning.
It'll be in your hands in a couple of days, and then you'll have one of the greatest books ever written.
Probably the greatest. So far, it's sold more copies than the Bible.
Wow.
I can't confirm it, but that's just what I hear on the streets.
Wow. It is an international bestseller, though, because we shipped one to my dad in Canada, so.
Yeah. All right, so Matthew does have a serious question. He says, how do you know if your gun belt is too tight or too loose while carrying appendix? It's actually a good question.
Yeah.
One thing that I do a lot is when I sit down, I have to loosen my belt just a little bit, and then when I get out, I kind of tighten it.
But you have a really easy ratchet belt.
Because I have a Core Essentials belt, which is like the only option in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Because if you had, I'm just thinking like a normal belt where it's got the latches like this,
yeah,
you know, you can put it in there, you can put it in there, that's going to be hard. But the Core Essentials belt, so you just push the button in the middle, it lets go a little bit, right? And then all you do is just yank it.
And it's just enough to like release the pressure on my hips.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is that just because you have a bad back?
Probably.
Because a normal person, I don't think, has to do that.
Yeah, pressure on my hips. If it's too long, it'll cause like a lot of back pain. I can do it for a short period, but if it's too long, I got to kind of loosen it.
So, but I would say a good thing to have is one of those ratchet type belts because it's like notches, right? So you can go like 1 click, 2 clicks, and you can just get it really perfect. But I would say that it's comfortable for you to sit and then comfortable for you to stand, and obviously the firearm is secured.
And the most important thing, like as you guys start progressing and taking my more advanced classes, Isabel is on here, which is cool.
Oh, what's up?
Mike, right? Isabel and Mike? Isabel and Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you start progressing and taking more and more classes with us, what's really important is as you're presenting your gun from a position of concealment is every single time the firearm is in the exact same spot in your waistband. Like I was criticizing a popular holster the other day because the holster rotates like this without you wanting it to. And I was explaining to Tiffany, she's like, why do you hate this holster so much? I hate it because it does this. So every time I go to grab the gun, the holster's in a different position.
Right.
And that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So next belts are like the Core belts. They ratchet
but
too.
cheaper.
Yeah, they're a little.
If you like, I own all of these belts, right?
Yeah,
so like,
because we had to buy them all to do reviews.
To do the course, yeah. So like, the Core Essentials is by far the dominant, right? Next is like, how do we make a belt that's similar to Core Essentials but a lot cheaper in quality? That's what the next belt is. And then there's everybody else, which is like 100% worse. But
we did try a crap ton of them.
Again,
some of them
I own
are
all.
super thick.
Some of them are like, I don't even understand why you would release this product to the market.
Some of them aren't even a gun belt.
Bad.
It's just a belt that you're marketing as a gun belt. Some of them but the Core belt really
like
is.
They get it.
It's innovative. It's comfortable. It's not too thick. But
like you guys don't know this, but a big holster belt manufacturer contacted me last year, and they're like, Ryan, we're so excited. We got our brand new belt's going to be released. We want to give you one before anybody else has it. But, you know, you have to promise you're not going to tell anybody or show any pictures or whatever. And I was like, okay, until like this certain date. So I was excited because I'm thinking, like, you're making this out like you have something really amazing here.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously, if it's that amazing, it's got to be better than the core essentials, right? So I was like, okay, this is going to be great. So they sent it to me, and I opened up the box, and I was like, you should not be making a big deal about this. Like,
well, and then weren't they the ones that said, and by the way, you can't say anything negative or anything like that. So we just...
No, they didn't say that.
There was somebody that said...
Nobody's ever said that to me.
Yes, one person said that we had to send them the script.
Oh, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I have to send the video to get approval before I can post it. And I was like, you obviously don't understand how I operate here, people.
No, thank you.
I will post whatever I want, however I want, without your permission.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
don't care.
So, anyway, all right, guys.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Cheers.
Be safe.
See you next Monday.